such an attentive, focused, terrifying audience. All right, so one of the ways I get over my nervousness, Russell, I went to Emerson and Bennington too, so this feels like, all right, okay, we're good, yeah, we're good. So I'm going to be really cheesy and embarrass myself in another way right now, and that gets me over some of this. Tonight's actually really special to me because I have 3 women in the room who have been of particular inspiration as people, citizens, writers, and mothers. And today I realized that at some point they all moved west at some point and made a name for themselves. So Peg Alford Purcell, thank you for being such a good friend and such a support and an inspiration. Melissa Pritchard, thank you for being here and the work that you do. And Grace McKinney, thank you for being on. For me, all of these writers, and they are all writers, put a spin on an old saying: they came, they saw, and they wrote it down. So in light of that, I'm going to read my Woman Moves West story, and instead of writing it down, she had a nervous breakdown. But we're going to not read that far along in the story. I'm just going to read a little bit of it, and hopefully you'll want to finish it. So this is called Parts of a Boat, also for Sausalito. The boat is quiet except for the clanking of the halyard against the mast. Catherine edges herself down from the bunk and moves to the head to wipe the crud of sleep from her eyes. She is still resolving herself to the horror the small round mirror has revealed, her hair smashed, her face lined with sheet marks, her mascara, when the harbor dog, Bowie, starts up barking, followed by the quick, clipped footsteps of a woman on the dock. The boat leans starboard, the woman pulling herself aboard. Roxanne. "Have we got a good one for you?" Roxanne says. She is bent down in the boat's companionway. A short blood orange dress frames her breasts as pert as if she were upside down. Catherine eyes her wrist, her bare wrist, Bill having removed her watch while she was sleeping, his small niceties as equally considerate as they are inconvenient. "You're early, I think." "No, we're late," Roxanne says, already down the steps. "We're always late," she says, as if late and fabulous are equivalent. Behold Roxanne, hopping on the balls of her pedicured feet, red ribbon sandals dangling from one tan thin arm, the other weighted in a dozen golden bracelets. She is a well-heeled 40, looking 20. Catherine can't help but hate her. Roxanne's husband, Sean, follows with a canvas bag chinking at his side, announcing its liquor contents. He hefts the bag to the counter and leans in to kiss Catherine. "Looking good," he says. He hasn't looked at her. He is a disconcertingly handsome man, as if he were wearing makeup. Could that be? Yes, it could. Catherine has had dinner with these particular friends of Bill's only once before, a year ago, not long after moving in with him. Neither Roxanne nor Sean had paid her much mind then, and Catherine hadn't held it against them. Plenty of women had passed through her chair, maybe even Roxanne. They'd been to an overcrowded Asian fusion place, Catherine needing to lean in to make out what was being said, lingo she didn't yet understand, all the talk centering on Sean and Bill, their careers naturally. Castings, shoots. Who was Catherine anyway? Just a single mom, fresh off a moving van from the Midwest, and already lucky enough to be eating lettuce cups with Sean Max, the actor, and his striking wife, Roxanne. Roxanne had had work done, of course, but it was good work. Then, waiting on dessert, they ran through the usual questions about Catherine's move from Illinois, the litany of expletives about the weather, how relieved she must be, and all of that. It was a subject she tired of quickly. She was here now. Why speak of old lovers? "Where's our captain?" Roxanne says. She is flushed, tan and flushed. She maneuvers around Catherine toward the unmade bunk where she lifts herself up and settles on their strewn sheets, crossing and bouncing one bird leg against the other. "We have such a wicked little story," she says. The boat feels narrower now, crowded with Roxanne's talk good looks and game show energy. Bill has yet to return. He's gone to the store. We have to wait for Bill, Sean is saying. Kath doesn't want to hear the story twice. Kath. Good then, they're already the best of friends. Coffee. Catherine needs a tanker of coffee. She and Bill had spent the afternoon on the boat, leaving her son James at home with the woman Bill hired, the two of them needing a break from the family life, Bill's phrase, from time to time. And she is flattered, his wanting her all to himself more often. Yet away from her son, Catherine feels a low-grade sort of panic underneath everything. James needs her, or she needs him to need her, a hollow vibration in the bones, yet something still quieted by a glass of Pinot in the midday sun. They finished that bottle over a game of backgammon. She wasn't really even trying. She'd let Bill track her runners before she moved any points at all, and the game was inevitably over, and then Bill offered to adopt James. Just blurted it out. A father would help, or something like that. Referring to the fact that James didn't speak, that he had recently stopped speaking altogether, even to the speech therapist. These were sessions Bill was paying for now, 3 days a week, sometimes more. But it was disingenuous, this offer, the effort. Bill always moved around James, her now silent son, skirting him as if the boy wielded an invisible weapon. This talk was all bravado, game-induced bravado. Clear in the way his eyes never left the dice, they were drinking. She opened another bottle, considering a response. She was more aware than usual that Bill was no taller than her, shorter even. They argued briefly. She crawled into the bunk, thoughts of her son in this drunken afternoon and the reminder of his father, her dead husband. She had reached the last leg of some emotional triathlon. She was spent. And with the steady flap of water all around, she drifted into a deep sleep, only to wake alone, a note on the counter, "We need more shrimp, Bill." And now here were Roxanne and Sean in this threat of a story. On shore, Bowie starts up with his raspy warning bark again, alerting the entire channel to anyone's arrival. Roxanne exhales and quickly draws a sharper breath in, as if to calm herself. She is grand in all her expressions, a birthing kind of breath, though she is, of course, childless. Childless women. Catherine's mother had told her she would never see childless women the same after having a baby. She'd thought this meant she would think less of them, but sometimes there is also an unquenchable envy. Bill's abrupt, hurried footsteps are on the dock, then aboard. "There are those beautiful kids," he says, looking down into the cabin. "Bill!" Roxanne spins and leaps toward him, even as he is still easing himself down the steps. Bill loves company, loves people, maybe even Catherine. Maybe she loves him, or wants to be more like him, to have his ease and whimsy around anyone. It is the latter, but they could get there, to that capital L kind of love. I mean, why not? Catherine once remarked to an old friend from Illinois who paused too long before responding. "We've got such a good story for you, blood and gore and everything," Roxanne is saying. She has Bill's face in her manicured hands. After that first dinner, Catherine asked Bill if he and Roxanne ever dated. He assured her they hadn't, but he'd been curt with Roxanne that night, sharp, as if they'd reluctantly made up from some heated argument. "Fabulous, blood and gore. Let's save it for dinner then, shall we?" Bill shares a wink with Sean. Drinks first. Sean is dropping olives over chipped ice. And then comes that thin pane of glass between Catherine and them. It goes up and she is behind it, trapped in a familiar remove. She is handed a drink, everyone is smiling, and the cabin fills with the hard paint smell of vodka. I'll leave you with vodka.